Okay, so last week, please let's be together. One house. So last week we tried to work on configuration of MIKROTIK router. So we were trying to simulate using static IP addresses on the router and also trying to simulate DHCP. So I'll go through it all over again. I have reset, this is a brand new router I've reset, so I'll try to log in with the default password. So if you recall, we spoke about removing the default configuration before we start. So I've cleared the default configuration. The router is going to reboot. So from here now, we noticed that there wouldn't be any password. And we were told that when logging into a MIKROTIK router, you must click on neighbors, then click on refresh. It will list out all the routers on your network. And we also recall that Winbox is the proprietary software of MIKROTIK products. Hope you remember that, because we may have a question in exams. Cisco Packet Tracer, Winbox, maybe some other, maybe GNS3, and you'll be asked to select the default software used to configure MIKROTIK products. Please, let's remember that, because we are still going to use GNS3 to work on MIKROTIK products. So let's remember that Winbox is the default software that comes bundled by the original equipment manufacturer called MIKROTIK. So for now, let's ignore the changing of password. So last week, we tried to work on the wireless, but this week, we will do some other thing. So you have to modify the configuration on your router. Please, have you connected it? Let's connect it, but before we connect, can we just watch what I'm doing? When I watch it, I will clear it and restart all over. So the project is this. Hold on, let me open up a notepad. So this is a project we want to do. Learn how to configure IP addresses. Wait, just hold on. Okay, learn how to configure IP addresses on MIKROTIK interfaces. Number 2, we are going to learn the concept of bridging and application. Number 3, create DNS records. Number 4, we are going to see how to set up gateways. We are going to learn how to set up gateways for internet browsing. Okay. Then lastly, we are going to learn how to share your phone hotspot to browse on a network. So we are going to learn these 5 things today. And I'll plead we should look at what I'm doing first so that we can better understand it. When I've done mine, we would all do it step by step again. Please, do you understand that? Please. Flash drive. There are several flash drives about. Please, let's go through it again. We are going to learn how to configure IP addresses on MIKROTIK interfaces. We are going to learn the concept of bridging and how to apply it. We'll learn how to create DNS records and how to set up gateways for internet browsing. Lastly, we will learn how to share our phone hotspot to browse on a network. So this brings us back to the concept of DHCP server and DHCP client. Do we still remember what DHCP server means? Can someone help us? DHCP server. Anybody, please. DHCP server. DHCP server, what does it mean? Yeah. So what does it do? Okay, it is in your head. They are trying to form the right words. Please, who can help her? Giving out IP addresses dynamically. Let's always remember that DHCP server implies a server, a system that issues IP addresses dynamically. Dynamically means that it will issue out whatever it wants to issue based on the instruction we have given to it. While static IP addresses means that we have to decide the IP addresses we issue out. So with that, DHCP server can now be defined as the interface or the router. In our case, we'll say the interface because of what we want to do. We are going to say the interface or the whatever device that is issuing out dynamic IP addresses. Then who is a DHCP client? DHCP clients are the recipients of the IP addresses. Do you remember that also? DHCP clients are the recipients of the IP addresses. So if your phone hotspot is on, your phone is the DHCP server. Every other person's phone and laptop getting internet from you is called the DHCP client. So if I'm to apply it on this router, please let's follow so we get where I'm going to. If I'm to apply it on this router, we have, like I said in the last class, 5 interfaces plus the wireless, making it 6. Am I right? Please, are we following? So I may now decide to say, what if I want this router to act as my phone? Meaning that primarily this router's job is to give out internet. But remember, before it gives out internet, it has to get the internet from somewhere. And it is not always that we have to maybe give it internet from our MTN. Maybe from my MTN router, we must not always give it internet from maybe port 1. A scenario can come. Remember when we discussed the issue of repeaters on the network? Repeater, we said, once you plug a repeater, which is like another form of access point, it will simply take a Wi-Fi network and we broadcast it to another location. Do you remember that? So what if we say that this router should make use of its Wi-Fi interface and act as a DHCP client to, please, what's your name? Isaac. It would act as a DHCP client to Isaac's phone hotspot. That means that he's going to put on his hotspot. And when he put it on, it means I want to browse. I will now tell the router to take the internet from is phone through the Wi-Fi interface. Meaning that the router Wi-Fi interface is now acting as a DHCP client instead of a server this time around. Are we following? Let me repeat it. Router must not always act as DHCP servers. It can do both functions. It can act as a DHCP client and also act as a server. A typical case scenario. We want to browse in this class, and the only internet that is active is Isaac's phone internet. We don't have a router here, we don't have a MiFi, just his phone has good internet. But his phone can only accommodate 5 people. Are we getting it? So I just have to bring this router, tell him to put on his hotspot. When he puts it on, I would log into the router and I would do as if the router is a mobile phone. So I will connect to his Wi-Fi on the router. Then after connecting, I can now decide to give these people the internet through either port 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I've just explained that a router, the interfaces can act both as a DHCP server and a DHCP client. That is one. Now let's talk about bridging. Number 2, let's talk about bridging. When we are talking about bridging, the very first thing that should come into your mind is your extension socket. When I taught us about switch, I still have a switch here. So when I taught us about this switch, I told us that a switch behaves like your electrical extension, meaning whatever you plug here, this speed, whatever you plug here, it is the same speed at which every other device is going to browse. Am I right? Meaning whatever is plugged here take the same characteristics as every other port on a typical switch, just like your extension socket. Now, if you're applying it to a router, remember we previously said that on a router, you can decide what each of these ports is doing. I said that in previous class. That is why a router is different from a switch. You can decide number 1 to serve just group 1, number 2 group 3, number 3 group 3. That is what a router does that a switch can never do. But now we could decide to combine all of them together to serve as one, meaning that IP address for group 1, maybe 192.168.20.1, I want everybody to act as DHCP client and collect the IP group 1 put in, meaning that even if I plug in a cable from group 2, maybe a cable on switch ETA 2 to a switch that I'm giving to group 2, once anybody on that switch plug their laptop, they should get 20.something, even though we say that group 2 is supposed to be using maybe 30.4 or maybe group 3 60.something. When I convert all of this together, it means the same current should pass through everybody, irrespective of wherever you plug your cable. Are you getting it? So you didn't get it? Okay, but you know what an extension socket is? You don't know what extension is? You with cap. I thought you shook your head. You know what extension socket is? You don't know extension? Please come. Please come. No, just come. Please, let's, I like using very simple things. Just open up your mind so that you can understand it. We'll go from the known to the unknown. So you know extension. You know how extension works. If you plug your plug or your charger in any of those sockets, it is the same 220 volts. Hope you know we are using 220 volts in Nigeria. Hope you know that. Do anybody don't know that, please? Who uses 110 volts? Who uses 110? US uses 110. I don't know, maybe some other countries, but Nigeria we use 220. So whenever you are plugging your plug in any of our extensions, you are looking for 220 volts. Those are basic electric terms. So we just want to make our router to behave like an extension. So to make a router behave like an extension socket, we call that concept bridging. Bridging means I want to combine this to work with all of these ones, so that anything I plug here, anybody connected here would be doing the same thing and will have the same characteristics. You don't understand it now? That is just bridging. It's just that IT, you know, these people have too many terminologies. Maybe they're supposed to just call it combiner, or maybe they should call it maybe socketing or whatever. But for IT, they gave it its own word called bridging. So bridging simply means making all the ports to serve as one with one particular assignment. So whatever assignment I want to give to it, I can give it to all of them at the same time. I've explained DHCP server, I've explained DHCP clients, I've explained bridging. This is why I explained all of that. I want us to put Isaac hotspot or my hotspot on the Wi-Fi interface. So when we put his hotspot on the Wi-Fi interface, I now want us to now create an IP block or an IP configuration on maybe port 1 to 5, universal for everybody, such that when you come and plug his laptop, everybody will have the same IP address from the same block. When we say block, I used the word block last class. Do you remember that? When I say block, block just means having IP addresses from the same subnet. Hope you know what subnet means by now. 20 dot whatever, 30 dot whatever, 40 dot whatever. That is subnet, the same ones, the same IP block. The same IP block. So let's now do it. So I've explained what we want to do now. We want to make use of a hotspot. The Wi-Fi here will serve as DHCP client. Then we want everybody on that network to browse. So we can do two things first. We can decide to bridge the entire port first and put our DHCP server on that bridge. Let me write out the steps before we do it, so that if you have questions, you ask. Now, step one. Step one, bridge all the ports and give the bridge a name. Step 2, assign an IP address block to the bridge. Step 3, run DHCP server on the step 3, we will create a DNS. Please, can we put our phones on silent? Create a DNS record. Then step 4, run DHCP server on the bridge. Step 5, maybe step 5, we may try to browse. So let's begin. Look at it now. Step 1, we are going to bridge all these ports. Step 2, we would assign an IP address to the bridge. Step 3, we'll create a DNS record, run DHCP server and try to browse. Please, I plead, let's look at what I'm doing first. When I've done mine, and it works, I will then erase everything and we do it together. So I would open up my Winbox. Please, can we all see both screens? Or I should expand this. Okay. Let me see. Please, can we see the screen? From the back, can we see the font? The back, can we see the font? No or yes? I think it's. Did they have any change? No. Please, let's manage it that way. Or maybe let me use. Okay, I think I've seen what to use. Okay. So this should be better, right? Okay, so I said the first step, we have to create a bridge. So on MIKROTIK, they try to make everything very simple to understand. We talked about bridging of networks. It is already here, bridge. Please, can we see it? It's already bridge. So I'll click bridge. MIKROTIK will always bring up its window for whatever I want to do. And by default, you should already know that on MIKROTIK, plus always means create. Plus always means create. So I'll click the plus button. It will bring up another. It will bring up another window. Let me start again. I click the bridge and it brought up this. I click the plus button on that bridge and it brought up another window. What name do I want to call it? Let me just call it DHCP server for Isaac network. So when I do this, I will just say apply and OK. I don't need to do any other thing. DHCP server for Isaac network. I've created a bridge. I've created a bridge name. When I created a bridge name, the next thing I'm to do is now to assign, this is an empty casing. It's taking instruction. So I now have to tell the router, please assign all these ports to the bridge. With this concept, I can decide to create maybe 2 bridges and tell the router maybe number 1 to 3, let it be on bridge 1. Number 5, 4 and 5, let it be on bridge 2. But for today, I want everything to be on the same bridge. So after creating the bridge name, I will now click on port. Are you seeing port there? I'll click on port. Port means let's add the various ports to the bridge. I'll click on plus. It has started interface 1. Add interface 1. Which bridge do I want to add it to? DHCP server for Isaac network. I'll say OK. You see it has added interface 1. Bridge, this is the name of the bridge. Number 2, I'll add interface 2. Number 3, I'll add interface 3. Number 4, okay. So number 4, I'll add interface 4. Number 5, I'll add interface 5. So I've added the 5 interfaces. If you notice there's wireless LAN there, I can decide to add wireless LAN, but remember I want the wireless LAN to be my DHCP, no, DHCP client, because I want to use its internet to browse. So I wouldn't add that, if not there'll be a clash. They'll start fighting in the network. So as I don't want any fight, I'll leave it there. Remember I created the bridge first, then I created the port. The next thing we want to do, we can do any of them first, but let's put in the DNS. Remember when we learned about DNS at the Mr. Kelvin's class, we learned that DNS, without the DNS, domain name server, we can't browse the internet. And by default, let's just know for now, for this class, we would always use Google DNS server. And Google DNS server is 8.8.8.8 and also 8.8.4.4. Let me write it. Google DNS servers is what we would always use because it's about the fastest DNS service. And 8.8.4. So for the scope of this class, we would always use Google DNS servers. To know more about this, you could read up the materials that I gave to you. But for now, just know that without DNS, you cannot browse. Without DNS, you cannot browse. So I'll open it now. I have put in the bridge. I've put in the port. You can do any of them first, remember. The next thing, I want to put in the DNS. To put in DNS, I'll click on IP. That is for MIKROTIK router, right? I'll click on IP first. Then I'll click on DNS. It will open up its own window. It has opened up its window. On the window, whenever you want to type anything, you can simply click the box. I'll type 8.8.8.8. Then I want to add another one. I'll add 8.8.4.4. Security-wise, sometimes you may say, I want to block pornographic websites on my network. If I go to Google, I can go and Google DNS server for safe browsing. You know, on the internet, sometimes we call that safe browsing. DNS server for safe browsing. I'm seeing Cloudflare, maybe Cloudflare 1.1.1.1, but maybe I could go further. I know of an antivirus and what we call Norton. Subnetting DNS server for safe browsing. Okay, you can look at this. I just went to Google to find this, mind you, because I was given a task. In fact, you know, I like teaching the business part. I can be given a task by maybe a secondary school that has a network, and I'm called to set up the network. You know, it's a secondary school, so the priority will be that people should browse, but students should not be able to access pornographic websites on our secondary school's network. What do you need to do? You write a proposal and give to them and put in all your jargons there, all what they'll be paying for. Security, plugin, designing, network architecture. In fact, you can even build them per user on that network. How many students do you have in your school? 200. You collect 1,000 naira per student. They will then put it in the school fees of the parents, 1,000, maybe per term, for safe browsing. What do you now do? After all said and done, maybe you have spent 1 month or 1 week, you just come to Google and Google maybe Subnetting or Norton DNS servers for safe browsing. When you do that, all you need to do is to copy out this IP address. You are seeing it here. Is to copy out this IP address, come to your Winbox DNS and paste it there. Come to the second one, copy and paste it. Once you do this, any child that visits any website containing sexually explicit content, it will show you cannot access website. As simple as this. As simple as this. Did we get it? Please, did we get this? But for now, I want to use Google DNS. I want to use Google DNS. So having done that, I'll put in my DNS. The next thing I want to do is to put in my, remember, we have another step. We have to give an IP address to that block. How do we give an IP address? From last class, we said that to give IP address, you go to IP. After IP, what are we clicking, please? To assign IP address. When we click on IP, what do we click? Addresses. Then I'll click which of the button? The plus button. 192.168.20.1/24. What interface? Now see what has happened. What interface am I putting it? Instead of putting it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another interface has come up there, which is DHCP server for Isaac network. Meaning IP address area has recognized that I have created a breach. So I will now drop that IP address on that breach, meaning that anybody that connects to those ports, it will give this general IP address. Have you seen it? Let me put it there and say apply, like we already said, and okay. I've dropped that now. The next thing we said, we will create a DHCP server. To create it, we'll go to IP. What are we clicking again? DHCP server, like we did in last class. Then to do the auto configuration, I'll just click DHCP setup. Let you do it for me. What interface am I going to run it? For Isaac network. Have you seen it now? I'm running that server on DHCP server for Isaac network. Next. 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 It has picked that DNS I put already. Next. Did I explain what list time mean? List time mean if someone is given an IP address on this network, let's say 10 minutes like what I'm seeing here. If the person leaves or disconnects from the network, how long should the router reserve that IP for him? Such that if he connects, it gets back the same IP. We put it as 10 minutes. Meaning, if this person leaves the network, the router will keep that IP address for me within a space of 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, it will give it to any other person. That is just list time. So if you want your list time to be 1 hour, you can leave it, but let's just use 10 minutes as default. Setup has completed successfully. The next thing, with this thing already, let's try something. Let me show you something. This is my... Oh, please, do we know how to go to your network connection on your laptop? Do we all know how to go there? Do everybody know how to go there? I'm hearing no and yes. Do we all know? Those that have laptops. Let me show it to us. How do we, let me write it. How to visit your network connection settings on your laptop. Step 1, open control panel. So I'll open control panel now. To open control panel, you just need to click your Windows key and type control panel. which is this. This is your control panel. Have you seen it? Have you seen control panel? Step 2, click network and internet. See control panel here. See network and internet here. Please, let's look at it. Step 2, click network and internet under control panel. I've clicked on it. Step 3. Step 3. Click network and sharing. Network and sharing center here. I'm going to the long route so that it will be easy. Step 4. Step 4. Step 4, click change adapter settings by the left hand side. See the left hand side there, you will see change adapter setting. When you click on it, this window would appear. Let me explain what all this means. If your laptop, this window simply shows you all the network connections available on your laptop, on your computer system. The first one you are seeing there is called Bluetooth, telling you that your laptop has a Bluetooth connectivity. The second one is showing you network port. This network port is telling you that your laptop has where to plug a network cable. Please, you can look at your laptop. Those of you that have laptops, you can show others that don't know network port. I showed you that in the other class. Network means network port. That means I have 1, 2, 3. Some of them are virtual because of that GNS3 we installed. Remember when we installed that GNS3, we clicked that bridging at one point. We'll go back to there as another practical. So for now, I have one network port here. I have Wi-Fi and I have Bluetooth. In the class of Mr. Kelvin, I'm sure he showed you how to view IP address. Am I right or wrong? So how do we view it? I'll right click on it and click on status. When I click on status, this window will come up. I click on details. Have you seen what has happened? Can someone tell me what just happened? Please, someone should tell me what has happened. Inspect it carefully. I have a price to give the person. It will be money. Someone should observe it. If you know, raise up your hand. Someone should tell me what I just noticed that has happened from all what you have been doing. If you know, raise up your hand, please. This is the properties of my internet connection. And my cable is coming from this router to my laptop. So I'm seeing something strange that's supposed not to be there. But it's as a result of what we just did. So someone should tell me what has happened on that adapter. If you know, raise up your hand. No correspondence. Raise up your hand if you know. Please, if your answer will become, just answer. This is not an exam. No, that's not what I'm looking for. No. Who wants to attempt? The what? Is the one I set. Meaning that, remember, I was bridging all these ports together. And I just came to check my internet adapter. The router has already assigned an IP address to me. Have you seen what has happened? The router has already assigned the IP address to me. And it has given me 254. As soon as we finish, the router immediately passed through this cable and gave it the assignment to my port. Do you use OPay? Oh, you are lucky. Please call your OPay number. Please come and give me your OPay. Are you entering or going? Okay. You can confirm. So let's be together, please. Let's be together. So what has happened is that, please, let's be together. What has happened is that the router has already assigned an IP address to my internet adapter. I want to do something. Have you confirmed it? Okay. So I want to do something now. My laptop is connected to Ether 3. Am I right? Please, let's look. I'm connected to Ether 3, right? I need someone with a laptop and a cable to come. Two people, please. Laptop and cable. Please, quickly. Laptop and cable. Laptop and cable, please. Laptop and cable. Okay, so connect to any port here. Then let's see the IP to give to you. Please connect to any port. Or let me connect. I'm connecting him to Ether 5. Yeah, I'm connecting you to Ether 3. So can you check your internet adapter and tell us the IP you have gotten?
192.1.
Please say it to the end of the class.
192.168.20.253.
Please check yours. Have you seen it? Seen? Your cable is not working.
It's working.
It was working. Okay, close. Let's see.
Why is it not showing white light?
And the cable is. Let me just check something. The cable is having an issue. Someone else. You can get another cable. Please, we need a cable here. We need a cable, please. Please, why don't you just help us with a cable. Okay. Okay. So confirm now. Is that an IP on your this thing already? Confirm. Please close. Let's see if you already have an IP. Properties. IP4. Double click. You have an IP there. So obtain automatically. No, we are doing DHCP. Open automatically. Okay. Okay, so click it again. So he has obtained, so we have two people obtaining the 254 and the 253. How do we confirm that from our router? How do we see the list of those that have connected to us? Please, let's look carefully. Let's look carefully. On the router, it's easy for you to see. Sorry, I'm coming. Let me just Okay, so we were saying, how do we see those connected to our network? Remember, I told us that on the router you can see anything you want to see. So our router on that bridge is acting as a DHCP server. So if I go there and click DHCP server, it will open up the DHCP server window, which is this. It will open up the DHCP server window. Now, how do I know those connected? There is a button called list. Remember, what the DHCP server is in is just to borrow you an IP. That it is listening it to you. The router calls that word listen. So router listens IP address to you because it can also take it back. So if I click on lists, I will see all those connected to that network through cable. Let's look at this very well. Looking at this very well, you will notice that we have gotten even the name. Look at the things the router collects. It has collected the MAC address of the people. This is Fabian. Fabian's laptop. It has told us that it has given 192.168.20.252 to Fabian. Then Lex, your laptop, it has given 252 to Lex. Sorry? Someone asked a question. What's the meaning of? Okay. So this means that I have already known that These two people are using this IP. So any activity they perform on the network is possible for me to know. And I can as well kick any of them out of the network. If I just click any of them and I click the minus sign, the person leaves the network immediately and maybe rejoin. I can decide to block. It is from here I did what I told you, where I block someone from my network. I can decide to blacklist this MAC address, because if he goes and come, the router will give him another IP. So since I know it's MAC, I don't need to come in to start asking him what is your MAC. I can copy his MAC from here and blacklist it on my router. And I can as well, we will learn it in some other practicals, yes. I'm not saying what is possible. I could also tell the router that whenever this MAC visit my router, it should have access to internet without logging into any page. So as at now, we have been able to do some things. Let's see what we have accomplished. We have been able to accomplish the configuration of IP address on interface. We have learned the concept of bridging. We have applied it. We have created DNS record. And now the next thing we want to do, how do we share our phone hotspot to browse? You can go back. Let's look at that one now. How do we use our phone hotspot to browse on your network? How do you set your phone hotspot to browse on your network? That is our next assignment. So let's look at my router. Please, let's watch this. This is so important. Remember, I said we'll do practicals. And the practicals can be anything. But I want you to look at it for knowledge sake, not for examination sake, please. So how do we set this to browse? Now, remember, anything called wireless has to do with the wireless tab. Anything called wireless has to do with the wireless tab. And not all routers can do that aspect of DHCP clients and all of that. But let's look at this one. So I will go to my wireless first. I'll go to my wireless and enable. Remember, you have to enable the interface. So I'll go to my wireless to enable the wireless interface there. We already saw this last week. I'll go to wireless and enable it. After enabling it, I'll go to my DHCP client. Remember, I said I want the wireless to act as a client, collecting IP from another device. I have set up my hotspot already. I've set up my hotspot on my phone already. So I'll go to my wireless, address, DHCP client. Under DHCP client, it has opened a window. I can click on plus. When I click on plus, I will click on wireless LAN, because I want wireless LAN to be my DHCP client, and I will apply. I have applied, but nothing is happening yet. I just told you that my wireless should be my DHCP client, but under status, nothing is happening. Let me delete it and start again. I said that I want my wireless port on this router to be a DHCP client to my phone hotspot. So I will first of all go to my wireless tab and enable it. Then I'll go to IP DHCP client, open it, select the wireless LAN and say apply and OK. But it will show stopped because I have not yet told the wireless what to do. Remember, when we were learning wireless last week, those of you that watched the video after the class, in case you forgot in the class, I told you that a wireless port on this particular type of router have several modes of operation. It can serve as an access point. Thank you. It can serve an access point. It can serve as a repeater. And it can serve as, remember I talked about station that day, last class. Do you remember when I say station? Class, do anybody remember when I say station last class? Station. Last class. See my front people. How come you guys went to the back? Okay, no chair. Okay, your attendance is here. Attendance. Okay, sir. So, remember, let me go through it again. Our wireless tab has several modes of operation. Let me double click it. Let's see it. Under the wireless tab, once you open it, it is by default general. If I click on wireless, it has several modes of operation. Let's explain all of them. AP bridge means access point. AP bridge means that it is acting as an access point or as a Wi-Fi. That is to make people to browse through the router like what we did during the exams. Station means it is getting an internet from another source and putting the internet on the router for the router to browse. I will just talk about station and AP bridge for this practical. So station means it is getting the internet from another source for the router to browse. AP bridge means that it is giving out internet through the Wi-Fi. So let's use the mode called station and see what happens. I'll click on station. When I click on station, remember, I am getting another Wi-Fi internet to act as the internet for the router, which is station. When I click on station, I will look here. There is only one button that can enable me search for Wi-Fi access outside. Who can identify the button here? Scan. Scan, don't worry, this one don't have any monetary price. So scan means search for any available Wi-Fi. Search for any available Wi-Fi. I'll click on scan. What interface should do the scanning? Wireless LAN. I'll click on start. It's now scanning. It's now scanning. Are you seeing different Wi-Fi? Who can recognize group 2B? Group 2B is the Wi-Fi some of you created the other day. We have group 2A, group 1B. Who was Acme? That should be my own router somewhere. So, my own, you can see this SPH Wi-Fi here. Someone is using MTN router around here. Someone is using Trust Greek. My own Wi-Fi is called PED. My Wi-Fi is called PED. Let me use this to explain one other thing. You may learn this in maybe 300 level. I can't really say. Or you may even learn it recently. So let me explain this. This area is called signal strength. This window is called signal strength. Sorry? No, not that. This is called signal strength. This one here is called signal strength. And the lesser the minus sign, the stronger the Wi-Fi network. In Wi-Fi connectivity, this is just by the way, not what we are doing. The lesser the signal strength, the stronger the network. Meaning, this network having minus 127 will be very, very slow. And this network having minus what? Minus 38 should be very, very fast. And 38 should be someone in this class that on HOTSPOT. So my own network is minus 54. It is also fast anyway, because the phone is closer to the, let me put it here and see if it will. It has decreased to minus 32. We call this increase, so we not decrease, because it is increasing towards positivity. So as I drop my phone on the Wi-Fi, it has increased to minus 22. Remember, we have to connect it to a particular Wi-Fi. I want to use mine. So I'll click on it. If you see the Wi-Fi you want to use as the client, you click on it and say connect. It has immediately put in my Wi-Fi name there. Can you see it? It has put in my Wi-Fi name, and I'll just say apply and OK. When I say apply and OK, I'll go back to DHCP clients to confirm if it has worked. Yes. Can we see what has happened? Remember, this status was showing stopped. Now it is showing what? Bound. What is bound telling you? Bound means it has attached itself to my internet Wi-Fi as the DHCP client, which means that under normal circumstances, I am meant to browse on this computer. Under normal circumstances, I am meant to browse on this computer. Let me try if I can browse. Let me try if I can browse. So I'll open my control panel and open my adapter setting. So let's see something that has happened on this network. If you notice, if we go to IP addresses has brought in another IP address to that place, and it is telling you it got it for wireless LAN. And if you look at this, it shows you a letter D. That letter D means that my phone gives it a DHCP. That's my phone acted as a DHCP server, meaning that IP address can go at any time. So I want to try the browsing, so I could show us why it didn't browse. Just a minute. Okay, fine. So let me delete what I did. Now, finally, we are about to browse. Remember, let's review what I have done. First and foremost, first and foremost, I enabled my wireless. Let me delete it again. I enabled my wireless interface. When I enabled it, I came to DHCP client and selected the plus and added my wireless as a DHCP client. When I did that, I then went to wireless itself to scan for the Wi-Fi I want to connect to. I selected station mode, came to scan, and selected PED and said connect. After connecting, it came in here and I said apply. And I went back to my DHCP client to verify that it gave it an IP address. I also came to my IP addresses and saw an IP address here. Now for MIKROTIK, for anything to browse, you must do one thing. And that thing has to be called firewall setting. Please let's look at it. For it to browse, you must create a firewall rule saying that, you know, this is a security feature now, saying that though I have put in all these things, should my router connect to internet? I will say yes. I'll click on IP address. I'll repeat all of this, please. Click firewall. When I click firewall, I will click NAT. Now let me explain what NAT means. So, sorry, I don't have a marker. Let me just write it here. Let me explain the concept of NAT at this point, because we are entering internet configuration already. In your readings, have anybody come across NAT? I have explained this in this class. NAT. I've explained it. Who can remember? Who can remember, please? What did I say this is? NAT. Yes. Remember when I said that only private and public IP addresses can browse? Do you remember that statement? Do you remember that? Class, do you remember public IP? When I said only public IP can browse, that's what I said. I then said that the process of every one of us visiting the internet, our private IP visiting the internet, is called NAT, meaning NAT means, please note it, network address translation. NAT means network address translation. By implication, this is the process whereby if Isaac with an IP address 192.168.20.254 is attempting to reach www.facebook.com, whose IP address is maybe 154.68.1, maybe 85.12. If Isaac is attempting to reach Facebook, what do we say will happen? We say that Isaac's 192.168.20.254 will first of all go through his public IP. When I told all of us to type, 254, will first of all go through his public IP. Remember that day I told all of us to check your public IP. Do you remember that? What's my IP? So assuming his public IP is, assuming his public IP is 154.74.03. That means from his private IP, he has to first of all go to his public IP, that's the public IP of MTN or Globalcom or Airtel. Do you remember that statement that day? He will go through that before he would get to Facebook, which is 154.68.whatever. So that process of the router converting Isaac's laptop from private to public is called network address translation. Network address translation. If Isaac is on the internet and he types what's my IP, he is simply going to see that public IP. He would never see his private IP anywhere. Meaning he's on the internet, but he knows himself with a public IP. That entire process is called network address translation. Now, practically, to demonstrate it is what we have just done. Isaac got an IP through our DHCP server called 20.253. Now, our router has gotten internet access from my phone on another IP address. Isaac now wants to browse through my phone internet. Am I right? He has to tell the router, please take me to the internet through this phone. The router will say, bros, this is not automatic. You must tell me by typing in some code so that whatever happens, you hold yourself responsible. So he has to go through that process of network address translation. So going through that process means that he will click IP. When he click IP, he will click firewall. That process goes through a firewall menu anyway on MIKROTIK. You click firewall. When you click firewall, he will click NAT. NAT means network address translation. He will click on it. Let me magnify. He will click the plus, click NAT, go to general. As a shortcut, once you go to general, the only thing you have to do is to go to action. Go to action. Maybe let me just explain little by little. You would know these things. SRT is just a short form for source. SOURC. SOURC. MIKROTIK calls SOURC SRC. NAT means network address translation. So MIKROTIK is simply telling you under general select SRT, meaning source network address translation, source address. SRT means source. Please mind, don't all these short forms. SRT means source, SOURCE, because they cannot start typing all that big grammar. So SRC means source. Don't do anything there, just leave it like that. The next thing you are going to is action. From general, you just click action, please. General means source IP address. That means source means 192.20. You go to action. Under action, select what you want the router to do. Now, let me explain what the router is doing. We have said that the router is picking your private IP, taking you to the internet, such that when you type "what's my IP," everybody knows you as with MTN public IP address. That means the router is hiding your private IP so that nobody can attack you on the internet directly. If they must attack you, they must attack MTN first. That process of hiding you inside MTN, in the physical world, we call that process masquerade. You know what all masquerades are? They hide their faces. So we are hiding our private IP address under our public IP. So we are simply masquerading our face by masquerading our private IP. So that process of clicking SRC, source IP, going to action, you simply need to click masquerade. Once you click masquerade, you click apply. Once you click apply, you can browse. Once you click apply, you can browse. It's as simple as that. You just go to IP, firewall, NAT, click plus, masquerade and browse. Let's confirm. Please, those two people, come with your laptops, plug the cable and see if you can browse. Those two people, please come with your laptop, plug your cable, check if you can browse so that we can start the practical all over. So we can start the practical all over. Please quickly, just put in let's browse. Put it in let's browse. Put it in and try to browse. Okay. So just try to browse. Connect it from your, disconnect from your Wi-Fi. Please, as they are doing it, be looking at the screen. Remember, once they connected, our DHCP server has given them IP address again. It has given them IP address. No, try browsing. Try browsing. Visit any browser and try browsing. YouTube has opened on his system. YouTube has opened on his system. No. So class assignments. So our groups, are we ready now? Our groups, are we ready? You can go back and plug it. Let's all do it together. Please, did you have any question on what we just did? Do anybody have any question? Any question, please? As you are doing it, should I call anybody to come and teach the class? If you can comfortably come forward, indicate. If you know you can come up and replicate all what we just did, indicate. Sorry? There are plenty. Okay, let's do it together. Let's do it together. So, you have questions. Please, questions. Yeah. Okay, if the Wi-Fi has a password, that's a very, very, I purposely turned off my password. I purposely turned off my password, hoping that questions won't come out. But since he has asked, let me put password on my Wi-Fi so we can answer that question. So his question is, what if the Wi-Fi you are connecting to has a password? Let me see what has happened. Please look at what has happened. As soon as I put in Wi-Fi password on my phone, please see what happened. As soon as I put in Wi-Fi password, the Wi-Fi disconnected. The Wi-Fi disconnected. So what if the Wi-Fi has a password? That is a cyber security kind of question. So remember, on that day when we were creating Wi-Fi interfaces, we talked about security profiles. Do you remember that? So I have to create the password there. I'll go to security profile, click on plus, select the type of password, maybe dynamic, just anything. I'll just click this. I'll give it the password of my hotspot. Apply and OK. I've given it the password of my hotspot. So under Wi-Fi now, security profile, I'll give it profile 1. Let me see it to connect back. What happened? Okay, you can see as I put in my password, the system connected back to my phone. It's connected back to my phone once I put in my password, and it has obtained the IP address again. So let's start afresh. I'll delete everything I did. DHCP client, delete, DHCP server, networks, delete. Places, I'm deleting everybody from there. Okay, I think I've successfully deleted everything. I've deleted everything. So please, our groups, have you connected the laptop to the router? What are we waiting for? Yeah. Group 1. We were to end this class by 12, please. I don't want to stay later than 12. Please, by now we should be crowding the system that is meant for the class. Where's the router here? Is it connected? Okay, it's connected. And you have logged in. Is it the stem that you used that day? Okay, so you are logged in. Okay, fine. Where is the router here? Are you logged in? You are logged in. You are logged in. Are you logged in? Does it need password? Didn't you reset it that day?
I've been hacking here like
Go this happen 6 months back.
Oga carry your this way.
Only the when you are.
Keep clicking it. Did you copy the latest Winbox? Is this the latest?
Yes, I give some.
Ready.
The flash is not coming up. Okay, copy that new Winbox, yes, to your laptop. Please close the other one. Close the other one you open. Okay, allow. Refresh, click refresh. That's it. Okay, let's see. Still booting. Can you use the other one there? Yes, one there. Do that one have the ring box? Let's try that one. Let's try that one. Oh. Wait. Bring back. Let's see. Okay. Can you plug this one back? Please unplug that phone. Let's just try this one again. Yeah, that one. It's not coming. Okay, no problem. So use this then. Please, have you all logged into Inbox? Who hasn't logged in? Group what? Yeah, logged in. Okay. What's the problem? This is it now. This is not it. This is what it's showing now. I think I'm coming. Connect. Enter. We set it that day now. Remember, we have all worked on this already before now. So yeah, okay. So let's continue, please. Let's continue. So the very first thing we did, remember the very first thing we did, we created a bridge. Let's all go to bridge. Remember we started by creating a bridge. 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 Are you seeing it? Are we seeing it? When we click bridge, we went to bridge and click plus. And we gave this bridge a name. We gave this bridge a name. Please, let's be doing it. We gave it a name. I can call it any name. Or group 2 bridge. We now said apply and OK. Sorry? We went to bridge and I just clicked plus. Under plus, I only gave it a name. I didn't give it any type. I just gave it a name. Have you done this, please? This shouldn't take us time now to just open and give it a name. Group 1B, have you done it? 1B. Have you done it? No or yes? Okay. Group 2, A and B, have done it. Group 3, A and B. This other group, what's the challenge? No, this other group. Can you see what they are doing? Have you done it now? Someone is it's just guys coming on. See, this laptop is supposed to be somewhere here so that it can serve both of you at the same time. Hmm? Oh, can all of you see this way? Okay. Any name, any name. So we were on bridge, you just click plus, give it any name of your choice, then click on OK. Give it any name of your choice and click on apply and OK. The next thing, you click on ports. Are you seeing ports there?
Yes, sir.
Group 3. Group 3. A. That group don't usually have problem. What's happening today? You are there. So you click on port. On that port, what we now want to do is that we have created a bridge. Please, I'm not comfortable how this side is. I think you have to stand and see what they are doing. Please, both of you. Both of you stand and just stay around them. The same thing with 3 of you. Please, you have to over around them. 3 of you. Please make it snappy, make it snappy. Just hang around anywhere you can see the laptop. Okay, so let's go on. So when you click on port, when you click on the port, what you need to do is to click on the plus button. So we are now trying to add up all, please are we together? We want to add up all our ports to the LAN bridge. We want to add up all our ports to the bridge. So you click on port 1, select ETA 1, select the bridge, OK. Do the same thing for all your Ethernet ports. 2, just to select it, select the bridge and say OK. 2, 3, please don't do it for the Wi-Fi. Don't do it for the Wi-Fi. Those of you that have up to 5, do it. Sorry? I didn't get you. What happened to ETA 1? Group 1, are we done? Group 1B. 2A, 2B, 3A, 3A. Are you done? 3B. We have to continue, please. Remember, the video will be online today. So, have we all passed this stage? Group 3B, 3A. So, having done this now, the next thing is for us to, as usual, assign an IP address to our bridge. We want to assign an IP address to our bridge. So, we'll click on IP. Click on IP, then click on addresses. It will come to our usual plus. IP, let's put IP first. You can do any one first. So you can put IP. Let's put IP. IP, I'll put 192. Please put your own 168. I'm putting .20. Okay, I'm putting .30 in my case /24. When you select the IP, please remember on the interface, you select the bridge you created and say apply and OK. Put an IP, select the interface and say apply and OK.
The Wi-Fi is shaky.
All of them.
I don't know why these things are behind.
See your laptop. If you have added 2, maybe you could make use of the 2. You know, once you add 2, you already know the concept behind it. Yours has 5, so 5. So put the IP address now. No issue, no issue. So put the IP now. IP addresses. Believe that. Wait, see what you can do. You cancel. You can modify the clicking yes. And select the interface. It is. Please, are we following what you are doing?
So we are putting it as the name of it.
And what's your name? Do you know what they are doing? So what stage are they now? So you simply modify the interface. How many? Yes, that's the one now. No, the bridge. Yes. We are dropping the IP on the bridge so that anybody that connects take the same.
This one, this one. The IP address should we change?
Apply. No need. You has already created an IP, so no need putting another IP.
This was the last one.
Yes. So okay. So please, have you all put in the IP? Yes, sir. Let's now put in the DNS. Remember, without DNS, we cannot browse. Remember, without DNS, we cannot browse. So let's go to IP DNS. IP DNS. So for our DNS, let's put 8.8.8.8. DNS 8. Are you just coming? Go. No, you can go. You can go. We are almost done. So for the DNS, please, for the DNS, go back to IP, then click DNS 8.8.8.8. 8.8.8.8. You can add the next one by clicking down here, 8.8.4.4, and say OK. So let's add our DNS, please. Let's please add our DNS. Let's please add our DNS. Let's please add our DNS server now. Group 1A. Have you done it? 1B. What's the problem? Do you know where to do it? Yes. Click on IP, then click on DNS. When you click on DNS, you type in 8.8.8.8, click the drop down, 8.8.4.4. Apply and OK is the same thing. Okay, what apply does, if you click apply, it will apply and remain on the same screen. If you click OK, it will apply and leave. So any of them is fine. Group 2B. 3A. Okay, 3B. Okay. So having put, please let's continue. Having put in your DNS, now the very important step. Please, if you miss this step, you have missed it. So we have to put on your HOTSPOT. Or do we use my own HOTSPOT for now? Sorry? Please use your, do you have internet? But you have Android. Please create HOTSPOT on your Android. Let's try not to use password. Try not to use password, please. Try not to use password. Yes, don't put password on your HOTSPOT on your phone. On your phone, yes. Have you all created HOTSPOT on your phone? Okay. If you have created HOTSPOT, let's go to wireless, please. Wireless. Let's go to wireless. Have you gone to wireless? You know, we can either do DHCP clients before wireless or do wireless before DHCP clients. So let's do DHCP clients first. Let's do DHCP clients first. Click on IP and DHCP clients. IP, then DHCP clients. IP, then DHCP clients. Please, why are we going to DHCP clients? Why are we going there? Why are we going there? No, just one person. From, no, I don't want the usual people. Where's that Favor? Is that your name? Why are we going to DHCP clients? You don't know. Who can assist us from that group? Not you. Someone. Sorry? Point Ella. Yes. Why are we going to DHCP clients? We are using the router as. I'm not hearing. Cosweb, you can continue. We are using the server, then the router wireless as a client. So what's the reason? Please, let's be together. What's the reason of doing that? What are we trying to achieve by doing that? One person. From the back here, from the back, group 1, from the back. From the back, anybody. She said that we are going to DHCP clients because our phone is the hotspot and the Wi-Fi interface is trying to get internet from our phone. So I'm asking, why are we making the Wi-Fi interface to get internet from our phone? Remember, before we started this lab, to share our internet with others on the same router. Before we, it is, please, it's important you know why we are doing these labs. If you don't go with the aim and objectives, you may just follow through what you are doing next, but you don't know what you are trying to accomplish. Let's follow the lab, please. So we said, you have a question. What do you want to say? What do you mean by unknown? Please, let's allow him. Continue. When you say unknown, what do you mean? That by seeing any Wi-Fi name. If you know or if you can hack into the password, you can. That is beyond the scope of the class now. Please. If you don't know the password, that is beyond the scope of the class. Because you are already going into the course called Hacking Wireless Networks. That's where you want to take us to. Please. Let's be together. If we can't, please, let's be together. If we don't understand this simple concept, there's no way I'll go to all those places. It can't happen. It can't happen. You may now have to go and pay to learn it. But you must understand and follow what we are doing. Please. So, like I was saying, let's create DHCP client. And two people have already told us why we are doing this. You click on plus. Remember, we said our wireless interface is the source of our DHCP client. Because the wireless interface is to get internet from our hotspot on the phone and now transmit the internet through other ports of the router. So we select a wireless WireLAN. I don't know how it's called on your own. And it will not put in any IP address, and it will show you stop because we have not yet identified any IP address. Have we done this? Yes, next, let us identify the Wi-Fi we want to borrow internet from. We click on wireless. We are there already. When you click on wireless, you double click on the WireLAN. Double click on the WireLAN. Double click there. When you double click, you will have to set this to station. I have already explained. Someone is calling. What are you using? I'm coming. Let me see what's here. You won't have a problem. You have seen it? So, when you are here now, you will select I'm sorry. So this is your device. See that person on your device now. I rather find it here. On your device, you see mode somewhere down. Go to general. Mode is down. Mode station, you see it down. Why our own is up, yours is down. Okay, so let's continue. So your mode will have to be station because it is only on station mode you can comfortably take any internet from outside. The next thing you now have to go to your hotspot. Like I said, try to turn off your password for now. The purpose of turning off your password, turn off your password so that your concept is tested to be working first. So that when you are troubleshooting, you know where you are troubleshooting from. So for now, turn off your password. When it works, we can turn on password. So you go to station. When you go to station, please look for scan. Look for scan. Look for scan. Under scan now, select your interface as FireLAN 1, then click on the start. Click on the start. Thank you. Click. Sorry? Click on start. It will show you all the Wi-Fi's, including the ones those of you want to hack. So when you see the hotspot you created, click on it and connect. When you see the one you are creating, click on it and connect, then click on apply and OK. Click on apply and OK. Let's see what we have done. Click on scan, apply and OK. Scan, apply and OK. Okay, I've done it. Click on registration. Let me see. Registration. Registration. Okay, fine. Where's the route? Have you done it? Click on the okay. Okay, fine. Who is here? Have you done it? Let me come and see it. Sorry. Let me see what they're doing. You are done? It has connected. Click on registration to come on registration. Registration shows you the Wi-Fi you are connected to. So it has not connected. Do you have a password? Does it have a password? Is it Android or Apple? Android. You scan again. Report. This one. Let me confirm if this group did anything here. No. Let's see where the issue is coming from. This will be a device issue. Let's try something. Can you put in a password? Can you do 1 to 8 on the hotspot? One, two, three, four, five, 7, 8. To activate it, please change the name, the Wi-Fi hotspot name, to anything, any other thing.
So I just change. I can change the number. Change everything.
Stanley.
Okay, I've changed it. Okay. So scan. Start. Which one is it? Eh? This. Oh, the password is 1 to 8.
Why should I setting for network?
Still searching. It may be a device issue. So what I'm seeing,
If I be the job because
possibly. Can you remove the password? Let's move it. Let's see again. But the same name, the same ROG.
yes. Remove the password.
It's a device issue. Let's see what can happen. What can happen? If there's a long cable, it has connected. Maybe later you can switch device with someone else and try it. So you just follow the class for now. Have we done it? Any problem?
Connect or OK? So now we do connect.
I don't understand.
We've already got some Wi-Fi.
How did you come here? This is where you are now. Have you connected? Yes, connect, you click. Which device? Security profile. Did you put password? You know, this router was already configured. So let's see the password was already there. Okay, check it. Let's scan it again. Is that the one? Okay, correct. And apply. Okay. Allow, let's see. If we go to IP addresses, see there. Can I see? You need to show here under registration. Yes. And so let's scan it again. What's the network? That's what. Let's see what happens. Okay, it has connected. See, the D has come up. You have seen it. It has connected in the IP under IP addresses. The, okay. Okay, so let's continue. So having seen all the connections, the last thing now is to issue out the command to the router and say, please, are we together? We have, please, let's be quiet now. We have already put in IP on the group 1. Let's be quiet. We have put IP on the bridge already. We have done DHCP server. We have done DHCP. Okay, we have done DHCP client, but we have not done DHCP server. Right? So let's do DHCP server. Remember, the purpose of the DHCP server is to tell that 192.something to work on all those 4 ports on your router. Remember DHCP server now for your own 4 ports. So let's do it before we give the instruction to browse. We go to IP, DHCP server, then click on DHCP setup. When you click on it, this window will come up. Please select your bridge and just go next, 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 next till it finishes. Next, 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 next till it finishes. DHCP server setup. Next, 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 next till it finishes. Next, next, next till it finishes. Next, next, next till it finishes, please. Let me see. And select your port now.
Okay.
Please select your bridge.
It was good, next.
Are you done? You are done? Are you done? Okay, are you trying to connect? Sorry. Are we done? Are we done? You are done. Group 1A. You are done. Okay. So So the next thing, let's now give the command browse so that those people's data will start going. so to give the command, remember I said that the command to browse is a firewall issue. So we go to IP, firewall. When we go to firewall, we are going to network address translation. Then we go to plus, IP firewall network address translation plus. It will take us to general. On general, leave it this way. Don't change anything here. But just understand that SLC NAT means source address masquerade. That be source address network address translation. You then go to action. Under action, you say masquerade my private IP and go to internet. You click OK. Once you go to internet, that laptop should browse. Once you go to internet, that particular laptop with you now is meant to browse. Once you go to internet, the laptop with you is meant to browse. Sorry? Your group. Another router. Do I have any other one? Okay, what's happened? Let a group finish. You collect their device. Let's see. Have you done it? Are you browsing? He's trying to browse. But is there a sign? Yes, there's sign. There's sign. So this group, have you done it? No. Sorry. Have you done it? No, let's details. You have not doing it. Did you add number one among your page? I will there unlock some laptops with it to unlock back for it to obtain whatever instruction. Please go back to your control panel again. I think it should be there already. This. Alright, you can start this again. Details. It has opened. So maybe it's supposed to, if you have done everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's working. Let's see. Firewall. It's working. Action. Masquerade. You missed it out. Masquerade. I say don't touch general, but action must be masquerade because you are hiding the network. You put in your DNS. Now, if you have data, we should post it. Is it browsing? Eh? Sorry? Okay, their network. Who's on our browse again? Is this on browsing? Why? And your phone is browsing. Let's see now. Let's see. Action, masquerade, general. Did you confirm if your laptop obtained IP address from this place? Did you confirm that? Let's go from here. It has not obtained.
Wireless.
Come is wireless again then. The laptop is obtaining IP. Yes, that's what I'm from. What port is it connected to? Which IP do you use? 50 or something, IP? What did you use? 50 dot what? 50 dots now. What IP range? The one you assigned is 50 dot something. This is the one now, 50 dot something. This is the one now. Let's see, Lysis. See a problem here. Remember, this is from last class. So we have to remove this. That one was there last class. Where do we get this gateway from? See what I want to do. Let's do something here. Let's reconfigure that network again. This is 50.1 Abi. So let's do the DHCP server again. Completed successfully. So I want to unplug this, take it back, so that it will obtain an IP from there. It has obtained and it's browsing. So the issue was that clash of the former class.
What it does, it was refreshing the new one.
Is it working? So let's be together. So we have, yeah? It's working now. You reset. Good. So we have successfully, please, let's be together. So we have successfully, one house, please, one house, please. We have successfully accomplished all of this we set out to do. Lab project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any question, please? Any question? Any question? Sorry? We did it today now. Any question on this process? So what I will, please, let's be together. Let's be together. What our advice is this. You know, this equipment, can we be together? You, stop that. Stop what you are doing. Stop it. Please, quietness. These equipment are here, somewhere in this building. So those of you that may, as you come to school, you may want to lay hands on it and do one or two things. You just have to, there's an office somewhere. There's a guy called Mr. Marvelous. I will tell him. So once you go, you can sign out an equipment and come to class. Any of the free classes, either this or this. Try these things on your own. Finish and hand over the equipment back. You must not wait till class before you can lay hands on this. And I'm sure this thing it should be around maybe 35,000 or 50,000. Is it expensive? Is it expensive? Is it expensive? Say, if I'm to tell you, this is more important than the school fees. Because the school fees will find a way to always come out. But if you buy this, it's your asset. You use it from 100 level to 500 level or 400. Sorry. So all our practicals, please. Please. All our practicals will be on this equipment. All our practicals will be here. So probably next class, next practical, please can we have, we don't have a mic. Quietness, please. Quietness. Next class, we will probably make use of the GNS3 to simulate what we have done. So that those of you that may not have access to this, you can still simulate it in GNS3. So you can bring your laptops or borrow your friend's laptop and come to class so that we can do that. Any question, please? Any question? We are about to end this class. Any question?